So, what can we do when we see something that we're doing, a part of ourselves, a behavior, something in our life, and we can see clearly that this is not serving us? And I think some people get kind of stuck at that point because, first of all, just seeing it is a huge first step. That's really a big one. But then it can be like, well, what now? What do I do if I see this thing that's happening, that I'm doing, that's part of my experience, and I don't really want it anymore? And I think the only thing that we can do is to go deeply into that perspective and really try and understand where it's coming from, how it sees things, what its perspective is, what its needs are. And very often, there are these parts of us that are actually doing a great job. And some really helpful questions that we might want to ask ourselves when we're sort of viewing this part, or we could actually go into it fully and let it express itself fully and hear what it has to say, hear what it's afraid of, hear what its program is, hear how it sees other parts of you and your life and choices that you're making. And we can also, just with curiosity and with this feeling of wanting to understand, kind of shine a light further onto this awareness that we have and really ask ourselves, what are the needs of this part? And I think nearly all the needs, essentially, it's good to really go through what they specifically are, but they're going to come down to safety, connection. And connection is safety for a human being. So, safety, essentially. Which means that these parts are protecting us. Whatever we are doing, whatever part that we're self-sabotaging, however we're self-sabotaging, it doesn't actually exist. We can't actually self-sabotage ourselves. There's no part of us that actually wants to hurt ourselves. Everything that we're doing, somehow, somewhere along the way, something we learned way back when we were 2 or 3 or a baby, or sometime probably before the age of 7, is something that we learned. This is how I stay safe. This is how I stay connected to these people in my life that ensure that I stay alive. Because if they reject me, I'm dead. If a baby is left alone, it dies. That's how relationally dependent we are as human beings. And that's how much our need for social safety is, on a nervous system level, also life or death. So we can really turn towards these parts with so much compassion and so much gratitude. Thank you. I'm alive today because you came up with this strategy. And I think when we start to shine that light of compassion and, gratitude might be a big step in the beginning. So there's no, need to put pressure on yourself, but opening up to that possibility, to seeing it that way. And then when we see what those needs are, what the fears are, what the strategy actually is about, and that process, isn't just going to happen maybe in an instant, but there are things that we can do, and we can, have other people assist us in that as well, because sometimes sort of seeing those blind spots and what's outside our conscious awareness, is outside our conscious awareness. So it can be really hard to see certain patterns that we have, certain strategies. But I think if we're just initially, if we can see this behavior, like I don't like the fact that, I don't know, I feel like I overthink everything all the time. And then I get in my own way, and then I never do the thing that I really want to do, and I'm self-sabotaging, rather than feeling like there's this thing, this overthinking, and it's wrong and it's bad, and I have to do it differently and push it out of the way, and like that's not gonna work. It's probably gonna make that part kind of stick its heels in and keep thinking even harder. Because it will be panicking. It's going to be panicking that you are going to walk forward into a death trap. Poor thing. But when we sort of turn our attention there and be like, wow, I wonder why I could be doing that. Actually, how is this serving me? What scary thing do I actually think is going to happen if I take those steps forward? What connection do I think I'm going to lose? That's the really important one. What connection do I think I could lose? Is at stake here if I ... do the thing, say the thing, whatever the issue is that we're, self-sabotaging, whatever the sabotage is. And then we can start to see like that vulnerability that we have, and those needs, the need for safety is real, and different parts of us have different needs for safety. Some of them are, financial, material, structural safety. Other things are like physical safety, relational safety. Relational safety is all of them really, because like I said, it's all coming back to, well, there's the physical, aspects of taking care of our physical needs. And then beyond that, there's the collective that we live within, the human population. And I think when we start to understand how important that is for our survival, to feel like we belong, to feel connected, to feel like it's safe to also be ourselves with other people, then we can really start to have way more compassion, way more understanding for why we might do things that we do, that from our perspective seem crazy, or like they're just taking us in the totally opposite direction to what we want. But actually they think that it's in our best interest. There's an aspect that always thinks that what it's doing is in our best interest. So maybe, just take some time to consider this as an initial step beyond this step of like, I see it, okay, I see it, I'm doing it, I don't like it. Like, what now? Can it go away, please? And just shine this curiosity and this like want to understand, because nothing within us will shift from the perspective of you're wrong and you're bad and this just has to change right now. That it's just not going to work. And then this process is more about like looking at those needs that are underneath, and then maybe we can find better ways to meet them. We can move forward with more safety and actually take care of these vulnerable parts and go in the direction of what we actually do want and not hold ourselves back. But not bulldozing through the vulnerability, like caretaking the vulnerability. And really meeting our needs and seeing that we have needs and they're valid, and wanting to understand what they are. And be there for ourselves and all the different parts of ourselves. All right, much love.